Hello everyone, welcome back to another weekly market update where I talk about what's going on in the Phoenix metro housing market. I've got Zoe here with me outside. We're on the patio today, even though it's 100 degrees, but we're anxiously anticipating the double-digit fall weather, hopefully sooner than later. But starting off by talking about our market index. I talk about this every week. We've been hitting new records. We've been hanging around the 340 range, and this week we are at 348.5, which is another new record. To give you some context, if you haven't been watching, the market index is a couple factors. Supply and demand are taken into consideration, as well as seasonal factors, and this is all created by the Cromford report, which I subscribe to and follow, that gives me all this information by analyzing the MLS data on a daily basis. So 100 is a balanced market. Anything above 100 is seller's market, below is buyer's market. So we're at 348. We are very, very far into a seller's market. To give you an idea of supply and demand difference that we have right now, our demand is 26% above normal, so it's very high, and our supply is 64% below normal, so it's very low. The funny thing is our supply is actually kind of slightly increased recently, but we haven't felt that at all in the market because our demand has continued to go up. So every time these homes are listed for sale, they go off the market so quickly that it doesn't really feel like anything's changing. I do like to compare this though to 2008 because I know a lot of people say these prices are increasing, it's becoming a bubble, but we had a very different situation in 2008. So in comparison, we had our demand was actually 43% below normal, and our supply was 113% above normal. So we had tons of homes for sale and no demand for anyone to buy them, which is the complete opposite situation of what we have now. And that's what caused our prices to decrease and essentially crash. But that being said, when that occurred, it actually took a full 8 months to get to the bottom of that crash. If you look at a graph, we were very high in terms of the supply and demand. And as that turned, it took a full 8 months to get down to a balanced market and go to a point where we had crashed. In the situation today, we are high on that graph as well, but again, it would take probably 8 to 10 months for us to even get to a point where we're at balance. And a balanced market is where there's enough homes for buyers to buy and sellers to sell, and prices our appreciation is increasing at the rate of inflation. So that's not even a bad place to be in. And it would take us probably 8 to 10 months to get there if something were to change and start to move us in that direction. At this time, nothing is changing, putting us in that direction. We've continued to go up just slightly, kind of stay flat at this market index that we're at now, but we're so far into a seller's market, this isn't going away anytime soon. So I like to call that out just to give some perspective on where we're at now and what it looked like in 2008 and how long it took us in 2008 to get to a troubled area, and how long it would probably take us to get there now. So we would have some red flags and indicators, things to look at, and we'd be probably, screaming that this is a bad thing if we saw those signs. But right now there's nothing turning in that direction where prices are going to crash. I also wanted to talk a little bit about one of those red flags. So when we see rental rates decreasing and our property values increasing, that's the number one red flag for something's wrong. Because if your rental rates are decreasing, that means you have vacancies. But why would your property values be increasing if you don't have people to live in these homes? So that's a big red flag to look for. Right now, we don't have that problem. Our rental rates are increasing, and so are property values. So we're in a situation where we see both going up. As far as seasonal trends go, we tend to see in October our number of homes under contract kind of go down a little bit, so fewer homes going under contract, and then we also start to see that our supply increases slightly as we get into the fall season. We're not seeing that right now. I don't know if that's going to change, but it's 2020 and everything has been not normal. So I was hopeful that we'd start to see a few more homes for sale and hopefully start seeing quite a few not be under contract and see that kind of slow as we go into the fall, but we're not seeing that. So I'll keep you updated if that changes. As always, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to help any way I can, even if it's just to talk about your situation. And Zoe and I are going to go inside to the air conditioning now because it's getting a little warm. Everybody have a great day.